Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we will be covering the top 2 units of each element, and I do want to say for future reference, I'm probably not going to be mentioning team compositions as well as the cards. First off, I do feel like if you're running your mono team or you're comfortable with your mono team, I mean the game's been out for a while, so I do feel like you should know what cards you should be running. And as far as the team composition goes, I just also feel like it's just highly unnecessary. It is possible that I'm not familiar enough with each element, and obviously I don't run every element, so maybe I'm making wrong suggestions. I don't know. At the end of the day, like I said, I'd rather just keep it, based upon the actual theme of the video. So definitely just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Another thing I do want to say is that this is going to be covering over 3 months, so whatever's going to be coming in July or anything is not going to be mentioned in this video. I would have preferred to probably have tried to get this out next week, but at the same time, I don't really think that we're going to be getting anything too crazy. Just keep in mind of when the video came out. Definitely be sure to support the video, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz, and without further ado, talking about fire, I do want to say that there are not going to be any changes here. Yuffie's still going to be here for sure with her Brumal form, and just like I said, other units are going to be getting guaranteed hit evasion, but hers is going to be just stronger. I mean, having a buff outright instead of something that relies on a mastery ability, or possibly just like a reincarnation. Hers is just, like I said, just stronger, honestly. And when it comes to Pissarro, like I said, he has courage, the evasion, courage removal. Even with Kefka being added to the game, I just personally feel like you're better off running Fire Evade than you are just running like a pure magic fire team. It's just going to be more reliable, and I just feel like they do their job a lot more successfully in PvP. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying that Pissarro may or may not be better than Kefka, but I'm just thinking about overall synergy with the team and just what I believe overall will just be more successful in PvP. Kefka definitely does have a lot of interesting stuff in his kit, but overall I think I'm just more terrified of fire evasion than I am like a magic fire team or a team that's just not full evasion. Moving over to ice, I would have to say that Snow definitely still deserves his spot. The card support that he's been getting here lately for strike units is just going to be extremely powerful. It's going to be really easy to plug him into a mono team, or maybe you want to run him in a rainbow team, especially if you're trying to run like a bait team or something like that for guild battle. You can definitely put him as the face of your team, and it's going to be really difficult to try and assume like maybe he's running with Perrine, or just like I said, plenty of other units that he can possibly run with. But as for the second unit, I hate to do this to Freyevia, but Reagan is just way too powerful. I feel like he has a lot of just versatility, being able to deal fire damage as well as dealing ice damage, a lot of means of chaining. He can give himself courage. He's just going to be way more useful when it comes down to it, and honestly it's really cool to just see him in the game. As far as wind goes, we're still going to have Glaciella. She's, like I said, just really powerful, extremely annoying unit outright, and like I said, just serving up that top spot for sure. And number 2 would still have to be Rizal. I feel like she has too many good AoEs, a lot of good range, and she's not easy to take down, just like, to one shot or anything. A lot of card support as well, so honestly wind just hasn't changed at all, just like fire. Now moving over to earth, we definitely have to add King Bradley. This dude is going to be a huge nuisance, able to give himself courage, being able to remove re-raise as well is just going to be something that's really powerful, a really good chainer, CT manipulator, and I do feel like his TMR is going to be extremely useful for a lot of units, giving that reaction block rate up, as well as giving himself haste or giving whatever unit haste. So this guy just has a lot working for him. He's an extremely powerful unit, definitely up there with Sephiroth for sure. As for number 2, we're gonna have to throw Zazan here. Same reasons, in the previous video. A lot of, usability, re-raise, courage, haste, CT manipulation as well. He got his reincarnation. So like I said, he's an extremely powerful unit, just not as good as Bradley. Now moving over to the lightning element, like I said, Summer Helena still gonna be here, still extremely useful, able to get past that runic ability, the reflect ability as well. A lot of means of guaranteed hits, can give herself courage. But as for number 2, this one may be debatable, but I was looking at Vega, and Vega honestly looks pretty interesting. Able to do a lot of different things, give himself a physical barrier, so he's somebody that I feel like can run next to a tank and just keep himself alive. He's also going to be getting damage increase as far as like the damage that he's taking, and it definitely has a decent stack on it, so it can get to like what, 75% damage increase. He also has guaranteed hits and can give himself re-raise as well as being able to remove re-raise. So lightning mains, you'll have to let me know like if you have the guy, how good is he, and honestly, like I said, if you're having a lot of success using him in PvP situations. Moving on to water, Celes is definitely going to take this spot. She's been holding it down for a long time since the beginning of these videos. Her reincarnation is extremely powerful. It gave her a means of giving HP absorption, especially since it's on a skill that I feel like she's definitely going to want to prioritize over Runic to some degree. It just depends on the map that you're running her on. So maybe if you're running her with Amulet, it's going to be extremely easy to keep her alive. But once again, like I said, she's a magic tank. That's pretty much the only thing I feel like is kind of holding her back. She's more of a physical bruiser, but she definitely deserves being in the top 2 for sure. And as for the second spot, I'm probably going to have to give this to Alstoria, just because I feel like he got a lot of defense pin. He's already, like I said, somebody you want to build for accuracy and make him as accurate as possible. And there's a lot of card support as far as, you know, water goes. And when he's reincarnated, like I said, he's just going to be dealing a lot more damage, and it's something that I feel like he was probably missing out on a little bit. Definitely a terrifying unit for sure. A little squishy sometimes, but at the same time, like I said, as long as his courage isn't slapped off of him, he's pretty much good to go. Now moving on to Light, I do feel like Starlight Elena is the number 1. She's been here for, like I said, pretty much the beginning. She's extremely powerful unit, good at chaining. Really good if you have Ryryu's TMR, you can stack that re-raise with that courage. And to be completely honest, I do feel like she's somebody who can deal with fire better than water can. She's extremely evasive, and fire doesn't really have a lot of accurate attacks. And with Starlight's reincarnation, she did get that accuracy. She also has a guaranteed hit when she's running Kododama, so she can deal with those units extremely easy. I would just try to run an extremely evasive build with accuracy probably being the second thing you would want to go for. Now as for the number 2, we do have to throw Wing Stern here. This is probably going to be her best friend. I've run against this team multiple times, and I feel like when Starlight Elena and Wing Stern are right next to each other, they're going to absolutely destroy you. They can just chain you down, chain your tank down, and just deal a lot of damage. Wing Stern also has a means of giving himself re-raise. He can remove re-raise, raises CT, just a really annoying character. And I feel like that was something that Light was definitely missing. Somebody else that can run with Starlight and be just successful. You can make this guy evasive as well. There's definitely a lot of card support for that. But definitely his greatest quality is the amount of damage that he can deal. And last but not least, we do have Dark. Sephiroth is still going to be here. He's probably going to be here for a cool minute. Like I said, a high damage dealer. A lot of just dispels, being able to get rid of courage as well as re-raise. Just a really, really strong character, man. Probably still number 1 in the game, to be completely honest. But as for the number 2, even though I do feel like Halloween Lucia just is extremely useful, especially when it comes to just limited content, her low cost is just something that I feel just makes her just really, really, really useful. The Armager effect that she also has is something else that is just really, really good. But to be completely fair, man, I do have to throw Dark Fiend like into the number 2 spot. This is somebody who, like I said, got a pretty good reincarnation buff to her accuracy. You definitely want to stack that accuracy as much as possible, have the Persona card as well as Black Rose Helena's card, and she can benefit from the Black Rose Helena buff as well, as far as getting the accuracy from the card. So Dark Fiend pretty much is going to remind me a lot of Alstoria. You want to build her for accuracy, just so she can just guarantee those hits. And for a unit not to have any kind of courage removal or re-raise removal, she's just somebody who's just extremely powerful. You want her to hit as hard as possible. She's a really good DPS. She can give herself re-raise. And another thing is that she's in the general pool, so you want to probably go to the hard quest with a lot of these characters that I mentioned that are in the top 2. You want to try and just like get them pretty much reincarnated as soon as possible. If you have to, definitely go into the mob shop and try and just use all those other unit shards to just kind of just compile into them and just get them built up as soon as possible. And that'll pretty much do it for the video, guys. Once again, I do want to say that if you want me to add the team compositions, just my opinion on them, and you want me to add the cards as well, just let me know in the comment section. I have no issue. I just didn't really feel like it was all that necessary, and it had nothing to really do with the theme of the video. I definitely do take you guys' opinion into account when it comes down to it. And yeah, like I said, let me know if you agree or disagree with any of these picks that I made. And with that, I hope you guys have a nice day. I hope to catch you in the next one. Take it easy.